Icelanders. As if a wholesome fish diet wasn't enough, they go about their daily lives secure in the knowledge that 100% of their country's energy is renewable. Partly thanks to this stuff. Iceland has turned its volcanoes into allies, tapping geothermal pockets to heat homes and water, and using hydroelectric dams for electricity. This energy self-sufficiency is key to Iceland's prosperity. Now, Iceland hopes to export its green energy smarts. Some clever engineers have created a funky, rugged wind turbine. It'll be used in Iceland to power isolated summer homes and remote industrial equipment, and to bring green energy to rural areas overseas. We're on the side of the highway about 20 miles outside of Reykjavik. You can see this little guy spinning around all day, powering telecommunications equipment. Back in downtown Reykjavik, there's smaller versions of this sitting on top of a bus stop. They're powering a Wi-Fi base station, an advertising board, and a smartphone recharging station. In an industrial suburb on the edge of Reykjavik, a company called Icewind has set up shop in an abandoned coal power plant to build these turbines by hand. It's run by Thor, the company's business chief, and C. Thor, a former nuclear engineer.
This type of turbine is called the 7-use vertical axis wind turbine.
In case you missed it, that would be a Savonius vertical access wind turbine, for all you turbine noobs out there.
Technically, it's an old technology. I mean, it dates back to the Persian Empire or something. We have taken this base design and kind of brought it to the modern age with modern materials, carbon fiber, stainless steel. We've made it really, really strong. We have engineered and cut the blades so that the turbine never goes on overspin. And we've just done the system so it's really, really simple, and therefore we can keep the price down. But it also can take really, really harsh weather.
And weather is a serious problem. This is what can happen to a conventional wind turbine when excessive wind speeds hit. In Iceland, windmills can last for about 3 years before the weather does them in. The shape of the Icewind turbines allows them to function in low wind and to stop from spinning out of control in high wind. And beyond that, they just look cool.
People, when they look at it, they don't realize what it is. They just think it's a sculpture or something. They're not thinking about this as an ugly energy production device. So we started putting more emphasis on the design itself, how it looks, all the curves and stuff like that.
Icewind has trials running throughout this country and expects to begin selling its turbines worldwide later this year. Thor is anxious to test out Iceland's ingenuity on a bigger stage.
We've been isolated for a long time, and I think we're fought for a long time for several different things. And this is just part of the fighting, inventing new things and going new ways.
But at least for now, Iceland still depends heavily on geothermal power. Sorry, Thors. These types of power plants are so prevalent that Iceland turned one of them into its biggest tourist attraction. An hour's drive south of Reykjavik brings you to the Blue Lagoon, a man-made giant hot tub, smack in the middle of a lava field, fed by mineral-rich wastewater that starts 2,000 meters below the Earth's surface and then gets processed by a nearby power station and fed into the lagoon. Feels like you're swimming in the middle of a volcano. It's a surreal experience, like taking a bath on another planet. You get to float in this warm water even when it's freezing cold outside. There's a swim-up bar where you can get a beer. And if you want that all-natural power plant glow, you can pay an exorbitant fee for some silica. Silica mask, cold beer, giant hot tub. It's perfect. The last part of the ritual is getting out of the cold, getting into a nice, clean robe, but we're gonna have to do this again because I can't find the armhole. Heat exhaustion kicking in, I called it a day, leaving others to soak up this place's geothermal goodness.